As a method of persuasion, I am not a big fan of PowerPoint presentations to begin with. I think the PowerPoint presentations rarely persuade anyone. And all of what you're trying to do in business is a matter of persuasion. The boss is trying to persuade the employee to understand the task that they must do and to do it well. The boss is trying to persuade the board of directors to see the problem the way they see it and give him the money and whatever he needs to change things. The company is trying to persuade the client or the customer in the marketplace to buy their good or take on their services. You're constantly trying to persuade in one direction or another every day and every moment of it in business. You can persuade generally one of three ways. You can do it with rhetoric, and that's the PowerPoint presentation. Data, 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 authority, authority, data, 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 therefore buy my product. Or you can do it with coercion, is another form of persuasion. You can bribe people, you can seduce people, you can bully people in an effort to try to get them to do what you want. But coercion always backfires, because people who are bribed or bullied or seduced and whatnot inevitably see through the ruse and realize that they've been mishandled, and your coercion will run around behind you and kick you in your ass sooner or later. The third way to persuade people is the most effective of all, and that is to tell them a story. A story persuades because you have to admit both the positive and the negative. So, in this way, suppose you were doing a PowerPoint presentation, and the whole point of the presentation is that XYZ company is the best manufacturer of the ABC gizmo. And you say it's best for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. The people listening to that know that you are hiding all the negative facts. All you're presenting is the positive facts. And they know, because they're in business too, that behind all of the positive facts of the PowerPoint presentation is all the negative that you're hiding. And so they are doubting everything that you're saying, and the possibility of persuading them is slight. But when you tell a story, you say, my company had a terrible problem. We lost the patent on a critical aspect of the product that we're trying to produce. And so we had to go fight for the right to repatent that in a whole other way. But we managed to get a whole new gizmo to deal with the patent that we lost, where our R&D department came up with something brilliant, and as a result, we were able to actually make a better product than we had if we'd had to use the old patent. And that moved us forward. Then the next thing you know, the finance dropped out. And we had to go out and scrounge up money, and you know in this economy how difficult that is. But thanks to our brilliant marketing people, we actually persuaded the money necessary to keep us moving. And so you go on and back and forth. The positive thing we did, the negative that we confronted, how we overcame the negative and moved to the positive. And while you're telling that story, positive, negative, the audience is sitting there thinking, he's not lying. He's not kidding us. He's telling us all the problems that they had to go through, and I'm in business, and God knows I know what those problems are. And as a result, they're believing in your company. They're believing in your product. They're believing in what you're trying to persuade them to believe, because you admit the negative. Now, if you insist on using PowerPoint presentations, stories can be woven inside of those presentations. And so you can go fact, 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 authority, authority, anecdote. And in that anecdote, then tell a little story that has that dynamic of positive and negative, and how your little company ultimately overcame all their adversaries, and then add that fact to fact, fact, authority, authority, and then come to a conclusion. And so you can weave stories within a PowerPoint presentation. My general approach to all of these is, if possible, eliminate PowerPoint. But if you feel you must, and I know a lot of executives have difficulty about that because they feel that the facts that you put into a story do not necessarily have the same power, impact that they do when you put them up in a big graphic presentation of a pie chart or something like that. And I can't cite the research, but all I can tell you from personal experience is I'd rather hear a fact woven beautifully into a story than look at a pie chart. But that's me.